notre foi en Dieu avec les services de prière et de culte. Suivons l'histoire du Congo et les documentaires des Congolais. Soyons connectés sur les actualités des filles et des fils du pays partout dans le monde. Découvrons des émissions de qualité, partageons notre savoir. Nous sommes à votre disposition pour vos émissions en direct de notre studio dans
Thank you for tuning in. It is I, Marlene Mayele, the presenter of the Young Queen Talk Show, as you all know. Today, I have with me someone who not everyone may be familiar with, but once again, like I did 2-3 weeks ago, I went to Nigeria, so today I'm going to Nigeria again. So excuse me, I am here chilling in Lagos. Before I introduce her to you, I would like to show you a video, a highlight of what it is that she does, for you to understand the logo that is here behind me that says Women for Africa. Be right back.
It's almost here. A royal night of celebration, entertainment, comedy, and much more. You don't want to miss this. Women for Africa celebrates ordinary African women doing extraordinary things. This event will be sold out, so do get your tickets early. Tickets are available from www.womenforafrica.com. Women for Africa 2014 will be taking place on Saturday the 10th of May at the Great Hall in Kensington. Let's celebrate the best of African women. Come and join us. It's going to be a night of fun.
Girl, I'm liking the way that you touch my body, liking the way you don't spend my money. I don't go lie, I'm liking your way, your way. You smile and the way that you call me on.
You saw it yourself. That was a preview from the award show ceremony in 2014. They have been around for, if I am sure, perhaps 7 years going now. It was a privilege for me to attend the award show this year. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to introduce you to the founder of Women of Africa. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Please introduce yourself to the audience.
My name is Tola Onigbanjo. I am the co-founder of Women for Africa alongside my husband. It's an annual celebration where we get to celebrate amazing women who are doing extraordinary things. It takes place yearly in the month of May, and this year we held our 7th edition.
I was right. In the head of this, I was going to say, if I say 8, no, she's going to kill me after this. 7th edition, so you've been around for 7 years.
Yes, we have.
They always say in terms of business, after the 5th year, you can kind of relax and say that I am finally impacting people. I'm in the market to stay.
I don't know if that's the case for us. We've gone past year 5, year 7, and we are still we still have a lot of work to do.
Of course, there's always development. And so far, through research and what I've seen, it has really developed.
Yes.
But I want to go back from the beginning, in the year which it started, or perhaps the initiative behind it at all. Because, as you said, you're a co-founder, so it's you and your husband.
Yes.
How did it all start?
Well, it kind of started, it was, I'm very passionate about women, and I've always been passionate about women. I started as a hairdresser from my teenage years, and I was forced to learn how to do hair because I grew up with my dad, and my dad didn't know how to do me and my sister's hair. So it was either we go to school with our heads shaved off, or I learned to do something. And after going to school for a few years with my head shaved and getting called names, but now when short hair is the in thing, but back then it was not. So I just started learning how to just put extensions in my hair. I used to practice and just put extensions in my hair. And after a while, my friends used to ask me to do their hair, then my friends' moms, and it just kind of became something that I just developed and I was really good at. So a few years later, after school, after school I worked for Barclays, I worked for a few companies, and then I just continued doing hair because I was good at it. And it also gave me the flexibility and the freedom to, be at home and look after my son because I was a single mum at the time. And when I used to do hair, the women, when they used to just talk, because I'm doing it from home, it's one-on-one, they just talk, yes, and I'd hear some stories, yeah. I'd hear some stories and I'd think, wow, oh my God, this is amazing. And I think people need to hear this. I mean, some stories, they were sad, but they were still like really impactful. And I was thinking, people need to hear this. You know, people need to hear this. If I'm inspired, imagine how many people can be inspired by what you do, your story, things like that. So I just thought to myself, everyone knows, we all know Beyonce, we all know all these famous stars, but no one knows the ordinary woman and the impact she's having or what she's doing. And I just felt it was something that I wanted to do, you know. So I woke my husband up one night when I had the name Women for Africa, and I said to him, I said, you know, you're passionate about Africa, I'm passionate about women, so we have to do this. Yeah. And he was just on board, and yeah, we just decided we're going to do an annual celebration, an awards night, and celebrate amazing women, ordinary women who are doing extraordinary things. And that's how it came about, and we've been doing it ever since.
And some men come along and tag behind their wives.
Yes, men come to celebrate the amazing women as well.
So the first year, how was that?
The first year actually surprised us. We were absolutely surprised. I mean, I said to my husband, because I'm someone that likes to plan, I said to him, we're going to give it a year. You know, let's take a year to plan. And I set the stage. And it's the same.
2012?
Yeah, the first year was 2012. So we started planning in 2011. So I kind of like set the tempo, and it's the same template now that we follow every year. Nominations open in August, close in December, and then it's all about the awards from then till May. So I said to my husband, because I'd seen Kensington Town Hall before, when I went to go and look at the venue with a friend of mine a while back, and I said to my husband, I said, look, we're using Kensington. I love that place. I didn't know how much it was or anything. You know, even now I'm still shocked, like, oh, the huge bill. But I said, that's what we're using. And it takes like 500 seated downstairs, and then it has a gallery of over 100 plus, and a big exhibition area. And, you know, for our first one, when you're doing something for the first time, it's very hard for sponsors to come on board, things like that. But I said to my husband, look, we might have to pay for this ourselves, but you know, let's just go for it. Even if I have to work in McDonald's, I will, but it's going to happen.
For the extra cash.
Yeah, and so we just started planning. We bought the venue, we started planning, and we said, okay, let's set it up for about 400, or let's expect 400 or such. And before we knew it, you know, I mean, that first one, we had over 600 people attend, and we were like, wow. You know, it was surprising for us as well. And ever since, we have like 700, 800, close to 1,000 attend each year now. It's just that kind of event now, and we always sell out before the event. So I think some people have started to mark it in their calendars annually. So it's annually, they know, right, we're going to Women for Africa in May, and that's somewhere so they always go.
Every year it falls in May.
Yes, every year it falls in May. And I always tell people, don't just come, you know, because you're coming as an awardee or a finalist, or, you know, come because it's a night of celebration. Come to network, just come to meet people, because on the night it's just a celebration, really. People having fun, and that's what it's about.
And since then, because I remember when I came, when I went this year, it was like, I saw so many different things, and it's like Africa united, in non-Africans, just women in general, or men supporting their wives and what it is they're doing. Sometimes it's quite difficult to have, like what you just said there, your husband supports your vision, because normally it's meant to be the wife following the vision of the husband. But if you can combine your vision together to achieve such a thing, it's amazing. Yes,
and I think it helps if, you know, it's something that's of interest as well. You know, like, I mean, I'm passionate about women. My husband's passionate about Africa. So that's kind of like what just made us just work together to do it, because I would have probably just more focused on the woman aspect, and probably
you would have focused on Africa.
Yeah.
We have a picture of you and your husband up there. We have to show it to the viewers so that they know who it is that you're speaking about in terms of reference. There we have it.
Yeah, that's us.
And how long has it been?
18 years this year. It was,
18 years being together with 7 years worth of a business that you've established together?
Well, yes, 7 years of Women for Africa. My husband's been in business a very long time, so he kind of like handles the business side of everything as well. Yeah.
And how is it when you're planning with him? Does he give you like, no, not this?
No, not really, because what we've done is we focus on our strengths. So I work on what I'm strong at, and I leave him to work on what he's strong at. So, and because it's of no interest to me, I can entirely leave it to him. And then what I'm good at is of no interest to him, so he leaves it entirely to me. But we just come together to obviously update each other on what's happening and where we're at.
No problem. I'm going to show you guys another video for you guys to see more in regards to Women of Africa.
Good evening and welcome again to the Women for Africa Awards. This is the 7th edition and we are doing it royal style. Why are we doing it royal style? Because today in the UK we had a royal wedding. And we're celebrating royally here with queens and princesses of Africa. We're going to have an uplifting time as always, listening to the stories of ordinary women who are doing extraordinary things. So come along with us, join us on the red carpet as we interview these wonderful women. Tell me, is this your first time of coming to Women for Africa, first of all?
No, this is my second time. I'm Professor Dame Elizabeth Anion.
And can I ask what the recognition award was for?
Well, it was for my involvement with sickle cell services in this country.
I am Donya Na, and from the 80s Youth Project and Amazing Parent Gems, and I won the Women in Education Award.
What does this mean for you?
Oh, it's just absolutely amazing. I mean, like I was saying on stage, to see what's happening with the royal wedding today and winning this award, it's so significant to me. It's just really amazing.
My name is Sungwani. I am the former Miss Teen Africa 2016.
Miss Teen Africa, okay. And why are you here this evening?
I've been nominated for the Young Achievers Award.
And how excited are you about that?
Extremely excited. This is my first time ever, so I'm really nervous. But it's just a huge experience and I'm just excited to be here.
My name's Titi Tapota. I'm a writer. I've been nominated for the creative industry, the creative category. But there's a lot of really good writers in that category as well. So I'm really privileged. If I only make it this far, then I've done really well.
Fortunately, I've been nominated for this award, and I have to come all the way from.
Women, Africa, celebrate.
African women, African queen.
The nominations are in. The time is now. The prestigious Women for Africa Awards has arrived. Taking place on Saturday, the 9th of May 2015 at the Great Hall, Kensington, London. For more information, visit www.womenforafrica.com.
The quality of the video, different people's attending, women, men, but the whole thing behind it is to celebrate Black empowerment within the African and Caribbean community, and to see and to show, like she said before, we know Beyonce, we know Kelly Rowland, but do we know the story of the ordinary woman? Everybody has a story, and sometimes it needs to be said and it needs to be shared in order to motivate and inspire another ordinary woman. So tell us a bit more about the event itself in regards to the categories.
Okay, so what we do, we have it because it's a UK-based award, so we have at least 12 UK categories, and then we have about between 4 to 5 international categories as well, because Africa is everywhere. And we want to open it up as well to people outside of the UK, so we have international categories as well. So some of the categories we do change yearly, and then some we have that so we'll always have, for instance, outstanding mother category, we'll always have businesswoman, career woman, young achiever, and then we have categories like media. Sometimes we might have makeup, author of the year, fashion designer. We'll have woman in leadership, woman in law, woman in healthcare, just different categories, and and then we have the international. We'll have international businesswoman, international woman in tech. We might have international women in education, because we have women in education as well, and then we have international African woman, you know, which is a more broader one. So if some of the international categories that are specific, some of the women don't fit in there, then they can probably fit in just the international African woman category as well. And then we have inspirational woman of the year, those kind of categories.
And what are the requirements for someone to be nominated or to just be put up?
Well, nominations, when they're open, it's the public that has to do the nominating. So we always encourage the public, you know, to nominate, because we decided we are not going to nominate anyone because we don't know everybody. We don't have access to everybody. So we can't, for instance, if I'd never met you and I don't know you, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be nominated, but because I don't know you, I wouldn't have been able to nominate you. So what we do is we don't nominate anyone. We invite the public to nominate, and then we tell people to nominate yourselves as well, because I mean, who knows you better than yourself? And that. So so sometimes we encourage people to nominate. If you feel you fit any of the categories, nominate yourself, and then they can now send in a nomination. Then we have a selection panel. The selection panel will now select the finalists for the category, so they'll whittle it down to the top 5 or 6 in that category, and then we now have independent judges that will now pick the winner. So when people are nominating, what we do is we say send a 100-word profile, a picture of the person, a contact email for the person, and then a referee, just in case we don't know the person or we can't find the person online or anything. Just to make sure that this person does truly exist. And so it's just 100 words, because nominations we get so many. Now if you're selected, when we contact you to say you've made finalists, we tell you to send a more robust profile, 400 to 500 words, and then send links or evidence to your works, any YouTube, any websites, any pictures, anything, to send it in, and that's what goes to the judges, and then they do their own search as well online and everything, and they get back to us with the winner.
Reference checkup, and then how to select everything.
Yes. So so that's basically how it is. I mean, everyone fits, as long as you're, you know, over, because Young Achievers category is from 16 to 25. So as long as you're 16 and above, then, you know, you fit the criteria. So nominate.
That's really good. And you said women in education. Women in education, is that someone who is like a professor or a teacher?
Somebody that's teaching, anyone that's teaching, whether you're teaching children, teaching in uni, anything like that, Okay.
And women in health would be like midwives and nurses.
Midwife, doctors, anyone in healthcare,
Amazing. And now, another thing is, I know you love to give.
My husband says, left to me, I'll give the house away and we'd just be eating bread.
You love to give, and you gave an example there, being brought up by your dad and you had sisters. So it's always been part of you wanting to give to a woman, wanting to help a woman, and wanting to make sure that the younger generation and the generation after that are well equipped and educated to be ready for their tomorrow.
Definitely.
You had mentioned off camera that you are planning to do something to allow them to be able to do that. May we know more?
Well, what I'm doing is setting up like a phone line. It's a helpline for young people, and it kind of like, because it's something I do already with a lot of young people that I know and that I mentor. You know, like, they just talk to me when they're going through stuff. You know, they're able to pick up the phone and just talk to me, and I listen to whatever it is they're going through, and that kind of thing. And sometimes I find that young people, they'll find that they can't talk to their parents sometimes, or they can't talk to their friends, but they just need somebody that will listen to them because they have something they want to talk about, something that's weighing heavy on them, that kind of thing. And so it's a helpline for young people. It's called the Listeners 101, and all we do is listen. So they can call in, talk about absolutely anything, whatever it is that may be bothering them, you know, and we're there to listen to them. You know, we say, you talk, we listen, you know, and we just listen to them. And then we have like websites that, you know, obviously are on the website listed that we can refer them to. We don't judge them. We don't tell them what to do. We don't give advice because we're not counselors, but we just listen. We listen to them, and you know, if they want to know where they can go for help, then we'll point them to a website or a helpline or a service that can help them based on what it is that they're talking about. But our thing is, before it gets to that point where it's overwhelming you, talk to us about it, because I personally believe that there's healing in talking. So sometimes as they're talking, they'll find the answers that they need themselves, or it will dawn on them what they need to do, you know, that kind of thing, so that they can do it. You know, I mean, I was watching a program the other day, and it was called Killed by My Debt. It's a young boy, you know, that committed suicide because he was in debt. Parking fine debt, a parking ticket, 2 parking tickets he got for £60 each, that turned to over £1,000, and the bailiffs had come in, and it was just so much. But he lived at home with his mum, his brother, his sister, and the stepdad. You know, one of them he left, one of them he did open, he saw, and then he just put it in his bag. And I think when it looked at, because the documentary actually detailed what he was making a week and what he had to pay out in expenses and insurance and everything for the moped, because he had a job where he delivers to hospitals moped and things like that, and then what he had left. So I don't think it was ever enough to fully pay. And then I think it just got to the point where it was so much that he just didn't know what to do. And when he now wanted to, can he pay in installments? They were not having it. The bailiff wasn't really being helpful. And, you know, and it just got so much for him. And I just thought, you know, why doesn't he just talk to somebody, you know, like talk? I'm sure if he spoke to his mom or, you know, but sometimes they feel that they can't talk to anybody, and then it gets so much, and that's how he hung himself, and that was a true story. I'm not too sure. I can't remember his age. But he was young though. He was young.
And in regards to young people, because not only are you opening the phone line for them to be able to speak to someone, you also involve young people when it comes to the program and the planning and the organization for Women for Africa. Sorry, we have a picture, the team of the people working for this year, for the catering team as well. I love the outfit that they were wearing as well, and look at that. That is just a group of young people, both girls and boys. The outfit is amazing, and they were serving. Yes, they were serving. Food was
That's actually my daughter on the left.
Oh, so your
left
daughter's
end,
part of the team as well.
She's 15, but she enjoys it.
Yeah, and we also have the picture of the other staffs where they have the volunteers.
Yes.
So you allow them to come and volunteer, do work experiences as well.
Yes, we do.
That is amazing. So this is someone who's not just giving to the elders, but giving back to the young people, because she wants them to be well equipped, to be inspired, and to do something positive in their life. And you heard it from herself here. Speak to someone if there is a problem, if there is something that is bothering you. Do speak to someone. Do follow up on them and go on the line that you said is called.
It's the Listeners 101. So yeah, we'll be launching next month, and then all the details, everything will be on the website.
Amazing. I would like to show another video for you guys to see some more amazing work for the Women for Africa.
In the name of the Lord Jesus, our heart is glad, our beings are alive today upon Satan with joy. Father, thank you, because it is your idea to give us the world.
Good evening, everybody, and hello from South Florida, where it's a little bit warmer than it is here.
exceptional woman is an exceptional man. However, the exceptional man in my life, the only scholarships in Ghana to matriculate in the University of Alberta in 1960s, he still had the good sense to marry my mother, a Scottish Canadian, but make sure that I was born in Ghana. I fortunately am complimented sometimes on the fact that I look younger than I am, and trust me, I'm pushing 50. And once again, I attribute that to strong African genes. Thank you to all of you for the opportunity to be here to visit London.
See, that is the venue, well nicely decorated. It looks like someone's about to get married up in there.
It was the same day as the royal wedding, so we had to make it regal looking.
That's really good.
Thank you.
Oh yes, it was. Of course it was. It was the evening.
Yes.
Yes, it was. And here we have the images of the trophies.
Yes.
Who decided for the look?
We actually go for that look every year, and the reason why is because in the first year, like I said, obviously, you know, it was the first year. We weren't expecting people to just jump on board and support, because, you know, with sponsors, they want to know that something's consistent, it's ongoing. And there was an awards trophy. When I was looking for awards, I just Googled, and then a site came up, and I just thought, okay, let's look at the awards, let's see what they do. And I said to my husband, I said, oh, why don't you just speak to the woman and see if she's interested in sponsoring?
Yeah.
I mean, all she can say is yes or no. You know, and we haven't lost anything because we're expecting to pay anyway.
Yeah.
And my husband contacted her, and she said she was going to sponsor the trophies for that awards, and she did. We didn't pay anything. And the second year she did again. We didn't pay anything. She sponsored again.
How many trophies do you get?
We have over 20.
Okay.
And that, so that was, you know, it was fantastic. And then because obviously she likes to give that opportunity to others as well, so I just said to my husband, I said, we're going to always use this company for the fact that she did that. We're going to always, even though there might be people that do it cheaper, but we're going to use her, and we've stuck with her. And that's the design we go for every year. So each year, you know, we just message and say, right, these are the ones we want,
names.
and
Amazing. So when it comes to business, event planning, can be quite stressful. The same goes to the heat of this weather that we're having here in London recently, you know, quite stressful. Like, tell us about it. There's a positive and there's a negative. What are the things that needs to be balanced? Because, you know, nothing is ever too negative anyway. You can always work it, make it better. It's a process of planning and organizing an event. Any downfalls that you came across?
I mean, with planning every event, any event, you're going to have issues. You're going to have obstacles, things that come to obviously distract. But I think, like, our first year, one of the major issues that we had in the first year, we had somebody contact us that when they saw all the promotion and everything going on, that she was interested in, you know, supporting the work that we do. And, you know, she was a pilot. She owns her own private jet. And she flies the likes of Richard Branson. She has the pictures to go with it, her website and everything. So she was interested in helping us, and she said if we have anyone that wants to fly in to attend the event, she can obviously help with airfares and things like that, because she has her discounts. And we had a few people that wanted to come over, so it was a case of collecting their money for them. The ticket prices were next to nothing because of her discount, and then she booked it. And we collected, sent her the money, and got her to book. And she sent, like, oh, these are the booking numbers and everything. And days before the event, none of the people had received their tickets or information, and we were trying to get hold of the woman. Could we get hold of her? Nope. And we ended up having to like emergency try and get some people over because we'd given her all their money.
You have paid her.
Yep. So I mean, they still managed to come, you know, and we had to now give back their money to for the ones that didn't come, that weren't able to come, and we were trying everything to find her, locate her. It was hard. I mean, I think when we now threaten to go viral on social media about it, you know, she now got into contact. She was having issues and, you know, family issues and that kind of thing, and we were like, well, we still need our money back, and she was paying back in installments, just bit by bit here, bit there. I mean, she never paid it fully.
Spent most of it already.
Yeah. So so those are the kind of things that can happen, you know. And now we wouldn't make that kind of mistake again. And then I think when it comes to the actual event on the day, there's things that don't run smoothly. Sometimes, you know, like everyone's busy and it's very hectic, so you might have staff put in the wrong wristbands on people, and then, you know, you put a VIP wristband on someone, they're gonna obviously go and sit in VIP and then you find that they're sitting on someone's seat, and, you know, just the usual. But we always evaluate, and then we work on things, you know. It might be a case of, you know, like the food runs out for the last 5 people and you're thinking, oh my God, you know, kind of thing. But we always try and rectify and everything, and we always try and improve for the next year.
And the red carpet this year itself was amazing. And you also had a message that you received from the First Lady, the President of Nigeria.
Yeah, that was about, I think that was, yes, I think that was 2016. Yes, because we had invited her to attend, and one thing we were told is that if she says she's going to attend, she likes to honor her word and attend. And she was unable to make it that year, even though she had confirmed that she would be. So what she in turn did was she now sent 3 governors' wives to represent her, and she also sent her speech for it to be read out on the day as well at the awards. So we had the 3 governors' wives. They arrived that morning because they called us up that morning and said, you know, they were there and they'd be attending as well, and they have the speech to read out on behalf of the First Lady. So that's what they came and that's what they did.
Amazing. I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this break.
That's right, it's 5th Annual Awards, and we want you to be part of it. Come and celebrate with us on Saturday, 21st May, at the Great Hall in Kensington. Doors are open from 5 p.m. sharp. It's going to be a night of style and pure class. Tickets are available at www.womenforafrica.com. So get your tickets and come and celebrate Africa's real gold, our women. Women for Africa is celebrating its 5th, yes, that's right, its 5th Annual Awards, and we want you to be part of it. Come and celebrate with us on Saturday, 21st May, at the Great Hall in Kensington. Doors are open from 5 p.m. sharp. It's going to be a night of style and pure class. Tickets are available at www.womenforafrica.com. So get your tickets and come and celebrate Africa's real gold, our women. Women for Africa is celebrating its 5th, yes, that's right, its 5th Annual Awards, and we want you to be part of it. Come and celebrate with us on Saturday, 21st May, at the Great Hall in Kensington. Doors are open from 5 p.m. sharp. It's going to be a night of style and pure class.
Hey, we are back. Thank you for those who are watching, and thank you for those who have tuned in. And once again, I'm here with the co-founder of Women for Africa. It's been an amazing time that we're sitting here discussing everything in regards to women. So man, allow us to have a little moment, you know. In regards to red carpet, because there's so many names up in the banner, there's like so many sponsors. I see that you've also been working with Glam Africa.
Yes.
How has that been?
That's been great. I mean, they support us every year. They send us brochures as well for the goodie bags. and they come and cover the event, and every year they run some kind of competition as well. Last year they ran a competition for best dress, and they gave out a voucher, €150 for them to shop at a particular jewelry store, and yeah, so they support us every year, and we have a good relationship with them. So,
that's amazing. I actually had the chance to be in contact with them as well, and to speak to them, and to even take a picture. I'll show you guys a picture of me at the red carpet with my Glam Africa magazine. Yeah, there you go, little leg out. Yes, that's me. It was an amazing time to be there this year. It was a really good experience. Like you said, networking with people is a really good place to be. So if you guys want to meet people, socialize, network, like she said, don't just stay at home to hear about it or to be told about it. Get yourself a ticket and go and take part. It's not just because they didn't nominate you or you were not selected. Go and be involved, because you don't know who you're going to bump into and how it's going to play a huge impact in your tomorrow. Another question that I have is in regards to, there was an announcement that was made. One of the Nigerian actors or celebrity, or African celebrity, was to attend the event. If I had seen him, I think I would have passed out for the sake of passing out.
Yes.
But I didn't see him.
Oh yeah, I mean he I mean, a couple of days before he wasn't able to make it, and he did give me enough notice. So I'm like, you know, because if I announce somebody's coming, I actually want them to be there. So I'm like, well, you know, you got to do a video, innit? So he did the video, and I mean, he ended up having to do 4 because he kept saying the wrong thing, and I'm like, no, you said, and the date is wrong,
So
and eventually, yeah. So then I put it on the social media page as well, with him announcing that he would have loved to have been there. But I mean, he is going to be at one of them, don't worry, because he's family. He's actually family anyway. So,
okay, guys, I'm going to Nigeria, so you said his family. Yeah, that's really good. And another thing is the entertainment.
Yes.
Because obviously it's an award show, and a lot of people may not want to sit through where they're just waiting for names to be read and everything.
Yeah.
And the entertainment is pretty well covered. I would say this year I enjoyed the kids dancing the most.
I mean, one thing I always know is that people like kids, people like children. So so I definitely wanted to have the dance group, and you know, I reached out to the mum, and she was like, yeah, because it was the girl dancer that followed me on Instagram, so it was her that I knew, and the mum said, oh, she's gonna get her to do something, and then the brothers will come and join, and they'll all do something, and they're fantastic. They're absolutely amazing, you know. And yeah, so we like to break up the awards with a bit of entertainment in between. So we go for dance, we'll have an artist, and then we'll have some comedy as well, just to make the night, you know, a nice night.
And then you've got the red carpet coverage as well that takes place, where the award winners get interviewed, or the ones who were selected get interviewed. We have some images of the red carpet as well, if you could show some images, please. So there we have you and your husband.
Yeah, that's actually one of our judges as well.
Okay, that's one of your judges.
Yes.
Yeah? And we have here, this is some of the people who were attending. Were they nominated or they were just...
No, actually, one of them, the fabric that I'm wearing, the woman on the right, she's my cousin. She supplies my fabric every year, and then I have a woman that actually makes my outfits every year as well.
Amazing.
And then the one on the left does my makeup every year.
Amazing. So that was...
so that's the picture that you chose.
That was the fashion and then the makeup artist in one.
Yes.
Amazing, amazing. Another topic that I wanted to cover with you in regards to, once again, inspiring women, is what are you most passionate about when it comes to the younger generation? Because nowadays we're seeing issues such as domestic abuse, mental health, like you mentioned yourself, suicide. Do you think, like, when you were growing up, or when you were bringing up your kids, because you've got your 15-year-old, was it done differently? Are some people doing things differently, or is it that the time has changed in the way people are being fed in the social media, or just media in general?
I think from the time I was growing up to the time now, a lot has changed, a lot is happening, and things are different as well now. And I think for me, we need to look at the pressures that the young people are facing as well. and make sure that they have avenues and outlets that they can express themselves and things like that, because it's a lot different. And we have to remember, not everyone is growing up in the same, you know, in the same home environment. Like, I grew up obviously with my dad. My dad took care of everything, you know, and so we were never at a point where, you know, we felt that we're going to be chucked out of the house. I mean, he was a homeowner anyway, or things like that, or at a point where there was nothing to eat or anything like that. But then when you look at some of the mums today, the parents today, you know, single mums, I was a single mum myself, and, you know, it wasn't, I didn't have the same, I wasn't going through the same thing that my dad was. My dad was working, he was working a very good job, you know, so obviously that's why we had our own home and everything like that. I mean, I was a single parent in a council flat, and I'm having to work to obviously pay bills and everything else, and sometimes you find that you're not really left with much, whereas I don't think that was the case for my dad growing up. So then when we're faced with that pressure and then having to deal with everything else around us, it can become overwhelming. And then if you look at it, some of the parents nowadays are a lot younger as well, you know, and the pressure's on them and not having the support. I was speaking to my stepdaughter just the other day, and I was telling her about the Listeners 101, and I said to her, I said, when you're with your friends and you're just talking, I said, what is the issue? What is the one issue that comes up?
Conversation that
you know, very regular. And she said, oh, so many things do. She said, but one thing that shocked them, that stood out, was, you know, a friend of theirs that was living with an abusive boyfriend. The boyfriend was beating her, and she couldn't leave. Sorry, she couldn't leave because she didn't have anywhere to go. And I said, well, what about her parents, her home? And she's like, well, she doesn't have that relationship with her parents anymore. So I said to my stepdaughter, I said, what about you? Why don't you let her come stay with you? She said, oh, she stays with me now. She stays with me and my other friend. But at the time, we didn't even know that was going on, or she was going through that. And I'm thinking, why would your child be at a place where they feel they have to put up with something because they cannot come back home?
They cannot come home.
And that in itself, I'm just thinking, no. It's just, there's something not quite right there. But then we just don't know. If we've put ourselves in a position where our child thinks they cannot come back home for any reason, then we don't know what they're out there putting up with. And then when we hear in the news, right, this person's committed suicide or whatever, we're going to be thinking, but they were okay. I just spoke to them the other day, they were okay. They're not going to be on the phone saying, oh, I want to come home, because they don't feel that they can. We should always have it, you know. Look, if my eldest son is 31, if he was to turn around and say, look, Mom, it's at a point where at the end of the day they've taken away the house, they've taken away everything, we don't have anywhere to go, I'm like, well, you need to come back home. Yeah. Even if some of the kids have to be on the sofa or whatever, there's always that open door. It's not about space or inconvenience. There is always that open door, and I don't care what age they're at. So that to me is something that needs to be looked at as well.
So that's in regards to communication and relationship within a mother and father and child.
Yes.
And so basically the relationships that you were having with your parents then, now people hardly have a relationship with their parents.
Yes.
So it's difficult for them, like you said, for her to go back home.
Yeah.
And in regards to the horizon of the topic of mental health, what do you think about that?
Well, I think it's something that we really need to look at a lot closely, because I mean, you know, I have a younger sister. Obviously, she's been dealing with it for a very long time. So it's something I always say to people: just because people look okay and because I said to someone the other day, I said, just because we post selfies online on social media and pictures where we look great does not mean that we are great. You know, sometimes check on, you know, your friends that are always putting up a front that everything's fine, fantastic. That might not be the case, and it needs to be looked at a lot closely. Because I always say to friends, I mean, even though sometimes we say it joking, I always say there's a lot of people walking around with mental health issues that have not been diagnosed. Because somebody's not diagnosed as having mental health, everyone assumes that, right, that person's okay. There are people walking around with it, they just have not been diagnosed, because no one has really sectioned them or no one has referred them or anything, and they're walking around. But sometimes just take time out. So sometimes when you say to someone, oh, how are you doing? And say, oh yeah, I'm fine. That's a natural answer.
Yeah, it's always I'm fine.
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah,
Then you need to say, but are you really fine? Are you sure? Is everything okay? And then they might open up a bit more, because once you just take that, oh, I'm fine, that's it. You know, you now go into something else and you just assume, yeah, they're fine. But you know, we're programmed to naturally answer that way.
That's very true. That's very true. Thank you very much. We're coming towards the end of the show. Is there anything that you want to say, a message to the audience, especially in regards to then nominees taking part very soon. Nominate me.
Nominations open in August. All the details will be on the website. All our social media is there: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You know, just check us out, follow us, and we'll announce when nominations are open in the categories, and just nominate an amazing woman. She deserves it.
Is it like any date in particular in August, or just
it'll be mid-August, and then nominations open right through to December.
So you have from August
to December.
Yes. To nominate someone like me.
Yes, definitely.
And then from December onwards,
December selections, and then everything else, up until the awards. But the awards for next year is on Saturday the 18th of May, so save that date.
Saturday the 18th of May. You've heard it here first on the Young Queen Talk Show. Women for Africa 8th edition award will be on Saturday the 18th of May. Save that date, get yourself a ticket. The tickets are actually quite good. It's not going to make you spend too much. But I have another question.
What are you going to ask? What I'm wearing?
Nah. In regards to the nominees and everything, because within your team, although there may be women who are women in education or women in health, can you also nominate the people within your own team?
Well, I always say to my team, they can get nominated. If someone wants to nominate them, they can. I've had one team member nominated one year. I mean, she didn't win, but she was nominated. You know, they can be nominated, but I just tell people they cannot nominate me. You know, and
because it's like just giving
because people do
everyone
try.
Will vote for you. I'll vote for you.
But we don't have voting, which is good. But they can't nominate me anyway. But if there's team members that people want to nominate, they can. They can, because remember, everything's done by selection panel and judges independent of us, so it makes no difference.
It makes no difference.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you very much for coming
Thank
today.
you.
If you have any other last words that you want to say to the young listeners here in regards to the phone line that you're opening.
Well, I'll just encourage young people, you know, if you have an issue, anything that you're dealing with, please call in. It's called the Listeners 101. We're there to listen to you. It's really all about you and just keep knowing that there are people out there that are interested in listening to whatever issues and problems that you may have. And no matter what it is, whether you think it's something little or something big, we still want to listen to you. So just call us. We'll be launching next month. But check out the website. It's up and running, thelisteners101.org. And we're there for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. You heard it here first. You heard about the Listeners 101. You heard about the date announcement for the Women of Africa next year. So I will be there, and you will be there, and she will definitely be there.
Yep, we will be there.
And I will see you guys same time, same place next week, Monday. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Goodbye.